What is up, Janksters? It's your boy Graham, also known as HamHawks42 on the internet, and I'm a little late to the party, but I wanted to put together a quick video and explain what the heck is going on with Transformers as it relates to the upcoming set, The Brothers War. Because you will notice we have new Transformers cards. Now, there was a series of promo Transformers cards that were printed years ago that were in silver borders that were intended to be like promos. I believe they gave them out to staff members as like thank you for, you know, working so hard on the game and all that jazz. And they're worth something for collectors, but they're all silver bordered. These, however, are not silver bordered. These are official Magic cards that are black bordered. They don't have that little acorn hollow stamp. These are legit. They're live, online, ready to go. That said, these are not legal in standard. That is important to know because they will be appearing in booster packs of standard products. That's right. This is a Universes Beyond style product that is a third-party IP. Granted, Transformers are owned by Hasbro, so I'm assuming licensing was easy to line up. But we have a non-Magic property appearing on Magic cards, and this time it's going to be appearing within booster packs. Now, in recent Universes Beyond products, The Walking Dead kind of kicked it all off, and then we have Street Fighter, Fortnite, etc. Those are all standalone Secret Lair products where they have a certain number of cards, which may or may not be mechanically unique, that have artwork of that particular property on them. So as a collector's item, it's like, okay, if you want this version, you can go get it. Cool, I guess. You know, it just is what it is. There's the whole mechanically unique discussion is its own thing, but when it comes to making a separate product for the people who want Walking Dead products or the people who want the Fortnite skins, sure, go buy that particular product. Neat. However, here we have a situation where people who do not care about Transformers, who do not want Transformers on their Magic cards, will be opening packs that have Transformers in them. Like, that is going to happen now. And so that's kind of like, it seems to be that Wizards is kind of blurring the lines between what is and what is not acceptable inside of one Magic the Gathering product. And whether that's a problem or not, it kind of depends on the consumer. There was a time when I would have been really upset about this, but now we've kind of jumped the shark and we just need to accept that, like, yep, this is what Magic cards are now. But in any event, what does that mean for you? When you are purchasing Brothers War products, what are the chances that you're going to run into a copy of, say, Optimus Prime Hero here? Now, there are a number of specific Transformers cards. I have no intention of going through every single one of them today. You can look those up on Gatherer or Scryfall, and you can see them for yourselves. They are out there. They are listed as their own set, where the set abbreviation is BOT. And you'll see that they have a set symbol that is like half the Autobot logo and half the Decepticon logo, which is kind of cool. It's a neat little throwback. But in any event, these particular products, these particular cards will be appearing in set boosters and collector boosters for for The Brothers War. It takes place on Dominaria. Dominaria is not in the name. The Brothers War set and collector boosters will contain these Transformers cards. Draft boosters will not. So keep that in mind. If you are purchasing 15 card draft boosters, you will not see any of these Transformers. Also, I don't believe it's guaranteed that you will get one of the Transformers. If you get a set or collector booster, it's just you have a chance to. I believe they appear in the list slot, so be aware of that. If you buy a box, you'll probably get one or two of these. But if you know, I don't know the exact distribution, but that's the thing. You could open a $5 set booster that you pick up at the grocery store just because it might come with, you know, with one of these in there. Now, there are two different versions of each of these cards. There is the regular printing, which is modeled after the TV show, I believe from the 90s, which is kind of fun, kind of nostalgic. Frankly, like, they look straight up like screenshots from the show, maybe like touched up a little bit. But, and to be honest, like, I think it's kind of perfect. Like, it does what it's supposed to do. You know, it kind of takes you back to, or at least people my age, takes us back to when we were a kid watching these kind of shows. So, all right, neat. But there's also another version, which is the Shattered Glass version, which I gotta be honest, looks pretty darn cool. This is the showcase frame that will only be appearing in collector boosters. So if you see the showcase versions and think, man, that looks freaking sweet, I need to get my hands on one of those, well, one, buy the singles. But if you're not just gonna buy the singles and you do wanna find them in booster packs, collector boosters are gonna be the place where you can find this particular style. Makes sense. It's a fancy showcase, it's gonna be all foiled and whatnot, so sure, that'll be available in collector boosters. And of course, these cards are all double-faced. because they're Transformers, so they transform. On the one side, they are a creature. On the, they're a legendary creature. All of them are legendary creatures, by the way. And then on the back side, they are vehicles, naturally. And they have this living metal ability where if it's your turn, they're a creature. So that's kind of cool. So you don't have to crew them on your turn, but they can't block is kind of the downside to that, because they're not creatures on defense, only on offense, which is interesting. But in any event, yeah, they're cool cards. They're an interesting mechanic. They're an interesting idea, and they embody the Transformers property very well, I think. In general, I feel like they did a good job converting that IP into Magic cards. The thing about it is it'll appear in standard boosters, and I think that it might cause some confusion because these are not standard legal. They are legal in Commander, Legacy, and Vintage. And let's be honest, these are Commander cards. Like, you can just look at the design of Optimus Prime. It is a 3-color card. That is not an accident. You will notice a lot of great legendaries from the past, like in the early 2000s, the 90s, with, a couple of exceptions, but there are a handful of phenomenal legendaries from way back in the day that had cool mechanical identities but were only one color. That's something that Wizards kind of goes away from because they're aware of the color identity rule in Commander. So when you see a legendary like this that is 3 colors, that is clearly designed to be able to give you access to the Jeskai color pie in a Commander deck. That's 100% what this is. Make no mistake, that's exactly what's going on here. Megatron, by the way, is the same way. He's also 3 colors. So surprise, surprise. And a lot of the other ones are two colors. A lot of the lesser characters are in fact 2 colors. So This screams to me like a Commander product. This is clearly designed to target a more casual audience of people who want to play with their toys, the toys from when they were younger. And I don't see a problem with these cards existing. I think the distribution model is interesting because I feel like they could have made bank as their own separate secret layer for these, because as it stands, with these showing up in standard products that are going to be shipped out in the just hundreds of thousands of cases, I'm sure, the overall price on these is probably going to go down pretty significantly, because I bet there's going to be a ton out in the wild. And they don't fit in any standard decks. So they're purely for Commander. There will be a pretty good supply, I'd imagine, out there on the market. And I have a feeling a lot of people who open them won't be interested in playing with them just because it's not like we all, if you're cracking packs, you're going to end up with a ton of cards you're not interested in playing no matter what. This is part of the deal, but in any event, this is an interesting kind of evolution of some other moves that we've seen Wizards make in the past. Most notably, the Godzilla cards from Ikoria, Lair of Behemoths. I'd be remiss if I didn't bring that up. So Godzilla was another third-party property that they were able to get into Magic cards in Ikoria, Lair of the Behemoths, which came out a couple of years ago now. But in the case of Godzilla, they did reskins. None of these are mechanically unique. You can get non-Godzilla versions of these cards that are perfectly playable. If you want a Titanoth Rex, you can put it in your deck. I don't know why you would. It's not particularly great, but you could do it. But if you want the Godzilla version, because you're a collector and you think it's neat, rock on. You can find this out there. And obviously the Godzilla version is worth significantly more than a normal uncommon that's borderline unplayable. So in any event, the Godzilla versions were kind of the first real big step into Universes Beyond as we know it today. And this did appear in collector booster products for Ikoria. So there's a precedent for this. The Transformers being mechanically unique is different. But to be honest, looking through some of the cards and kind of getting a feel for what they are, these look like they're just extra Commander cards. The fact that they're legal in Legacy and Vintage, I genuinely don't believe is going to be relevant. I don't know those formats super well, but I'm fairly confident you're not looking to play a 3-color 6-drop 4/8 with Bolster. I could be wrong, but I'm willing to bet this is not going to be making any kind of waves in those formats. The real reason that people get hung up over Legacy and Vintage legality is not because of the safety of those formats. The reason that we get hung up on that, or I know the reason I get hung up on that sometimes, is because if Wizards makes a card legal in Legacy, that is them saying this is an official Magic the Gathering card. That is them giving the blessing to that design, saying this is acceptable space for our card game. And I don't see anything offensive mechanically on any of these cards. I'm not upset that these exist. The fact that there's, you know, legacy legal Optimus Prime now. There was already legacy legal Rick Grimes, so whatever. You know, it's just where we are now. For the record, though, I would still love to see that go both ways. I would still love to see Magic the Gathering characters and Magic the Gathering IP in other properties. The fact that if I'm playing Fortnite, I can play as Goku and Vegeta, but I can't play as Jace? What the heck? Like, anyway, I think that would be great. I would love to see Magic the Gathering spread beyond just the cards. And the fact that it's not consuming, but the fact that it is, you know, taking on other IPs, I think is good for the game in the long run. I just think it should go both ways. Anyway, I'll talk more about that in the future, I have no doubt. But in the meantime, yay, Transformers, they're here. So, collectors and set boosters of Brothers War, you'll be able to get these. Oh, flavorfully also, as far as IPs to bring in, I think Transformers actually makes a whole lot of sense because the whole theme of the Brothers War is these two artificers creating gigantic machines that are doing battle with each other. So I gotta say, flavorfully, from a creative perspective, that's kind of a home run. Just like how Ikoria being the lair of the behemoths, being the place where Godzilla shows up. It's a set all about big monsters. Well, Godzilla's a big monster. Sweet. Like, makes sense, you know? And this is very much the same situation, in my opinion. Like, all right, it works. Anyway, thanks so much for checking out the video. I appreciate it very, very much. Yeah, I stream over on Twitch, twitch.tv/hamhocks42. I also am going to do my best to post videos over here more frequently, so please hit that subscribe button if you want to hear more of my inane ramblings, as well as see some of the deck techs and other shenanigans that I'm up to these days. I'd love it. Thank you so much. I'll catch you on the next one.